Hi guys. So I wanted to come in here and talk about peak week, and I am sorry that this is coming to you so late. Peak week starts tomorrow if you're following 80-Day Obsession, the big round that so many of us are doing. Fortunately, I was ahead of the game, and if you're in the group in the challenge tracker, you got all this information in a post almost 2 weeks ago. So I didn't intend to leave you high and dry, but most of you probably know I was bitten by a dog and had to have emergency hand surgery and was in the hospital for 3 days and been having a lot of medical appointments, and just like everything in daily life is super time consuming because of how limited I am with what I can do with my hand. Like I need Sean to cut my food for me and things like that. So it has been challenging, but I apologize. I meant to make this video actually last weekend. Last Sunday is probably when I originally would have done it if this hadn't happened. The dog bite was on Friday night and we went to the ER on Saturday night. So that being said, here we are. And you know, if you're not, I know there are some of you that have given the program a break right now, including me, because I can't work out, or I can't do these workouts anyway. So this video is definitely for you if you're doing peak week this week, but even if you're not, at least you can have this information in your back pocket. And this might help you decide, you know, if you're on the fence about whether you were going to do it in the first place, understanding it a little better might help you make a decision and determine what's right for you. So having said all that, what is peak week? This is the 13th week of 80-Day Obsession. It's a different nutrition plan. So, you know, unless you're changing brackets based on weight loss, based on how you're feeling, several of us have changed brackets throughout the program, but other than changing brackets, the way that we've been eating has been the same all along, every week, every day. It's the same containers, the same timings. The only difference is refeed day, of course, up until now. But peak week is kind of, so peak week is a full week, and it's called peak week because you're getting in like peak prime condition, making your muscles pop, and kind of the finale, grand finale of the program. Within peak week, there are 4 deplete days. So if you look at your eating plan, whichever plan you're following, I'm in plan D. For me, this is page, do we have page numbers? It's page 8. So if you go back and back and back in your eating plan, so it's after the page that addresses refeed day. That's where you find your peak week meal plan. You also need to look at the workout calendar, which I meant to pull up. Let me grab it. But so the workout calendar is what will tell you which days are your deplete days. So if you are following the calendar as written, let me just pull it up to make sure I don't misspeak, but I did just look at it. If you're following the calendar as written, your deplete days are Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, and the reason for that is those are the workouts that are not heavy lifting. So on the heavy lifting days, leg day and booty day, Wednesday and Saturday, on those days you would just eat according to your normal 80-Day Obsession meal plan. Go back to what you've been doing. So the deplete days again are Monday, Tuesday, AAA cardio flow, and Thursday, Friday, total body core and cardio core. So that's how the calendar is structured. Obviously, if you changed around the order of the workouts, then you would need to change the deplete days as well. So just be aware of that. So the deplete days are lower carb days, but you will notice that they're not zero carb days. We don't get any fruit, but we still do get some yellow containers. So I'm not going to go through A, B, C, D, E, F, like all 6 of the plans. I'll just mention mine, and then you've got to look at your own and see how it compares. But in general, I think for all the plans, there is an additional meal that has been added. And that's mainly, according to Autumn, it's just because otherwise you're going to be getting so many reds and greens in one meal. It's just unpleasant. So we spread it out further out of the day, spread it out further throughout the day, and it means you get to eat during a longer window of your day. So you know, if you're eating every 2 hours, so that's like 8, 10, 12, 2, and 4, right? It's an 8-hour period normally. So essentially what we've been doing is intermittent fasting, right? Because then you have 16 hours out of the day when you're not eating. Obviously, it's spread out a little more if your meals are 3 hours apart. Okay, by adding this additional meal, then it becomes a 12-hour window. And if it's 3 hours, then it's what, 15? Anyways, so it's longer is my point. So we're lower on the carbs and we're less on the intermittent fasting kind of concept with the way that the peak week plan is structured. All right, so the other thing to know about this is I had previously said that I was going to switch to evening workouts for peak week. And the reason for that is that, so you know how throughout the program, if you want to, you can switch your meal one with your pre-workout. And that's what I have been doing because the meal one is a little smaller. It means I can work out right away without feeling too full. And it means I don't have to spend like a ton of time preparing food and eating early in the morning. So I don't have to get up earlier. So I've been doing morning workouts with my meal one before and then pre-workout, post-workout afterwards. So we are not supposed to do that. Not supposed to swap any of the meals. Your workout block is your workout block during peak week. Well, I mean, on the deplete days, at least. So once I found that out, I had made a decision to change up what my pre and post workout meals were going to be. I actually ordered a box of Daily Sunshine, which is the, well, it was a shake that was formulated for kids, but it's, I mean, it's a great product. It's just, you know, it's like I have so many supplements already. Otherwise, I'd totally drink it every day. But conveniently, Daily Sunshine is a half a red, half a yellow, and half a green in each serving. So I could mix up 2 packets of that with water, and it would be my pre-workout with a spoonful of peanut butter. So that was what I was planning on doing. 2 packets of Daily Sunshine as my pre-workout. And now the other thing that Autumn said, I guess Daily Sunshine is vegan, so it doesn't really matter, but Autumn is basically saying that she would recommend also cutting out dairy during peak week. I personally don't think I'm going to do that because I like dairy and I get sick of eating too much meat. Like she basically said, do chicken and fish for all your proteins. But when I'm eating 8 reds a day, I can't do that. Like I would go crazy. So that was kind of, at least to see how it goes, try it once, maybe reevaluate later. I just want to pass along to you what Autumn said, but I personally am doing, I guess, just a more moderate version of it that's not so monotonous. So I would have some red meat in there. I would have yogurt and cottage cheese and all the things I normally have as my reds, including Shakeology, just to get more variety because there are so many reds on those days. All right, so again, it's not that you can't do evening workouts. Wait, no, hold on. Autumn did actually say, she said the carbs are supposed to be in the morning and the carbs are in the workout block. So that pretty much means your workout has to be in the morning. Now, if you have to do your workout in the evening for some reason, you have 2 choices. You can either move your workout block meals or you can just kind of follow the eating plan from start to finish, but then your carbs are not in the workout block and you're working out kind of in a fasted state in terms of having had any carbs. So your energy might crash if you're doing an evening workout with no carb source that you've recently eaten. So if you want to give that a try, you know, just kind of be aware that it might mean you have less energy for your workout. And just doing an evening workout is not going to be like following this plan perfectly. And maybe that's okay. Like none of us has followed this 100% perfectly all the way along. But just know that if you're not quite getting the results that you wanted, that might be why. And next time around, or even, you know, later in the week, you could switch to morning workouts and just do it exactly in the order that it's printed in the guide. All right, what else do I want to tell you? Deplete day. So in Plan D, I've got my pre-workout green, red, yellow spoon, which I mentioned already. We do the supplements, energize, hydrate, recover with water only. My post-workout is green, red, yellow spoon, again with an extra yellow. So it's actually more carbs than I would normally be getting, well, more yellows with this meal, but I would normally have fruit. So And for that, I would just have a normal, meal like breakfast burrito or something, yogurt, and like oats. There are some kind of standbys. Obviously, need some vegetables in there too, but some standbys that I've been making. So kind of a regular meal post workout. Okay, so then that's 2 meals out of the way. That leaves 4 more. So again, on Plan D, the next one is green, 2 reds, and a spoon. Then 2 greens, red, blue spoon. Then 2 greens, 2 reds, and a spoon. And lastly, green, red, orange spoon. All right, so the way that I had planned to approach this, and will actually, so what I decided was, got to take some time, get my stitches out, and just doing light workouts till then. And when I'm able to start this back, I'm hoping like April 30th. So then I would actually just do the final 2 weeks that I didn't get to finish. And I know I won't have quite the same results, but I wanted to have that experience of going through the whole program once before I start a second round. So I'm doing it kind of, the second round will be starting on the date I originally planned, hopefully, if all goes according to that plan. And it's just my first round that would be, delayed in terms of finishing it. So that's what I'm planning. And in terms of those last 4 meals that I just mentioned, so anything with the orange or the blue, those are the ones I treat more like a normal meal. So those are things that I would cook at dinner, and having the healthy fats like cheese or olives or pine nuts, it's just, it goes so nicely and just makes it feel like a real meal. So I don't like to have those be modular and just throw something together. I'd like to actually find a recipe and cook something for those. So normally, like one night I would cook something with a blue and the next night orange, and eat them the next day for lunch, things like that. So I just had to be a little careful, like which ones I was planning on doing for lunch and for dinner, which day, because these meals are in a certain order. But the fact that you have that regular eating day in between makes it really nice, because it gives you a little more flexibility that, you can have your meals in any order. So if I'm like eating the blue container as my last meal of the day, it's, not a big deal. It's actually good. So that would be the day I cook the dinner that I'm going to eat for lunch the next day. Does that make sense? So those meals are essentially as they are normally on my plan, except there's no yellow and no purple. So the way I had decided to address that was I had a few dinners picked out. So like this chicken cacciatore with brown rice. So you can make the whole chicken and veggies sauce thing. And this has an orange container. I was going to put olives in it. And then it's served over brown rice at the end. So for my husband's portion, I'd serve it over brown rice. For mine, I just eat it plain, kind of like a stew. That was my plan. There's one here, turkey Thai pasta. This one has peanuts, so that's my blue container. And same thing, serve it with pasta for Sean, and just eat it without for me. So then it becomes like a ground turkey stir fry with vegetables and some healthy fats. Just looking at what else I have to give you guys more examples. Oh yeah, okay, so this was like a steak recipe with like Brussels sprouts pasta. So steak with Brussels sprouts for me, and there's some goat cheese in there too with the Brussels sprouts. And then steak, Brussels sprouts, and pasta for Sean. So that was how I was approaching it, finding meals where you can really easily remove the carb, so I can still make something that my husband will like and will eat. And it works for me too. If I'm making one meal and it's like one day I'm getting carbs and one day I'm not, it's really easy to swap some in combined with the rest of the ingredients. So it takes care of 2 of them, the one with the blue and the one with the orange. So then the other 2, it's just, different combinations, but they're basically red, green, and spoon. So I had decided to just, well, I hadn't like 100% gotten this all figured out. I had about a week left before peak week started when I got hurt. So I never quite got this far, but my plan was essentially just to have lots of vegetables like cooked with olive oil on hand, and, maybe some extra roasted chicken, some extra yogurt, some extra cottage cheese, what other reds are good? I mean, there's like sardines, which I don't eat very often, but they're nice because they're like in a can. They are portable, just, don't eat them in a closed space with people around. But starting to look more at that red list and figure out what else was on there that I'm not already sick of to have a little extra of for this week. So that was my plan. I think I pretty much covered everything. Again, let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know if you're planning to follow peak week. But yeah, so it's Monday and Tuesday, you would do that deplete day. Wednesday, eat normally on your 80-day obsession plan. Thursday, Friday, deplete. Saturday, normal. And then Sunday is your rest day, and you can still do your foam rolling if you want. And I recommend taking your after pictures on Sunday or even on Monday. Because you lifted heavy on Saturday, so your muscles are swollen and there's some inflammation. So really give your body a chance to recover. Although, I mean, honestly, during peak week, it's a good idea to take pictures a few times because then you can really see the effect of your muscles kind of popping. And it's just because you're losing water, essentially, exiting your body when there are no carbs present being stored. So the one other thing that Autumn said in terms of how to decide if this is right for you is if you have a decent amount of weight to lose, you're not probably going to get that effect of your muscles popping. So, I mean, if you want to try the deplete plan as kind of a, just trying something different, feeling how it is in your body, discipline, you can still try it, but just know that it may not have that desired effect that's kind of the entire reason for doing it. So it's, you're totally welcome to also skip it. I mean, whether or not you have a lot of weight to lose, you can also just eat normally on your 80-day obsession regular plan that you've been following and just do the workouts that are listed for peak week. I honestly recommend taking pictures like at least once a week all the way through the program. So if you haven't been doing that, if you're doing another round, might be a good time to start. But you just take them at the beginning and the end. I mean, it's a moment in time, and if you may have a big difference, and that's awesome, but the time of the month makes such a difference, day of the week, like which workout you did yesterday, I don't know, things like being sick, being extra tired. There are so many factors that can make a difference. So I'm a fan of taking frequent pictures because sometimes it's kind of surprising. Like the day that you expect to be at your best might not be exactly when you thought it would be. And there are some just random surprising days when I feel really lean. So I think it's a good idea to take pictures often to compare. So hopefully I've covered why to do peak week and how to decide if you're following the nutrition or not. And yeah, I just can't wait to see all of your results and hear your final impressions of the program. And those of you who had to drop out for one reason or another, just know that I am starting my next round in the middle of May. And if you want to crush this program in a second round, you are more than welcome to join me. I would love to have you.